What's going on, everybody? If you like this video, give a like. I'd appreciate it. Just a little thumbs up. You can leave a comment below too. Sub to the channel. This is going to be Why You Hate Your Job part 2, because the first one got too dark. So a little review of what we went in the first one is, there used to be free energy. There still is free energy. It didn't go anywhere except they're in control of it. How they are in control of it is by they're giving us limited resources of energy, such as fossil fuels, which I don't believe in. I believe it's more so coal, and they're taxing us on electricity when in reality electricity is an unlimited resource. That's why they don't want you to have solar panels, and that's why they don't want you to have that's why they're charging you on electricity. Even when it comes through a dam, the water flows through a dam, it's creating free electricity, but they charge you for something that's for free. Again, I heard someone else say before that we're the only species that pays for food. That's something to think about too. We're the only animal that pays for food. Anywho, when we think about actual energy, because energy is what runs life, energy is for free, yet they try to control it, and they don't want us to have the unlimited energy. And a good thing to look at, or something I mentioned in the last video, was Tesla. Tesla, you can read about it online or even buy his book, tells you how he created free energy. The pyramids that you hear about, the ancient pyramids, they're all over Earth. They don't want you to know about them. Those create electricity. That's the main use of them, was to create electricity that was for free. And there's a bunch of different ways to get energy too, not just from pyramids, but you can get it from the air, hydrothermal, except now, and water. You can get electricity from anything, basically. You can run cars off of water, off electricity. Just because the new Teslas or something like this, they're not new. Nothing's new. It's just renewed, basically. They're hiding it from you, and it's more so a division and more ways to implement and control you. That's the whole point of it. It wasn't always like this, though. There used to be free energy, and people had time to go do whatever they want. More free time, more creativity. They weren't working all the time, doing jobs that don't need to be worked. Because if we have free energy, then why is somebody working to pay for energy? Because they want to control you. So another thing I talked about, just the review, is called Zeitgeist. Zeitgeist is a documentary that I watched on Netflix years ago. You can watch it again, you can watch it probably on YouTube or on Netflix. I'm sure you could probably find it on YouTube, but it's definitely on Netflix, and it tells you how money was created in the modern days and how it's used for manipulation. So now we're going to expand into some new ideas, thoughts, and we're going to talk about the rich and the poor. So over the pandemic that went through, which isn't really a pandemic, because if it was a pandemic and people were getting sick, it would kind of be like, if you ever watch zombies, like The Walking Dead, or anything where you've seen exaggeration of people getting sick all over the place, which they're not. No one's getting sick, because you would see it, and then also some people would feel it, and a bunch of other things. The only people that are getting sick are people that already are sick. Anywho, when we talk about the pandemic, the whole reason I brought it up is because people like Jeff Bezos, if that's how you pronounce his name, which is the owner of Amazon, he increases profits so much. There's also other people that increase their profits so much. And these people have billions of dollars, and they made billions or more. These are the rich people I'm talking about, not the people who make millions of dollars, because that's really not that much money. If somebody can increase their billions of dollars to billions or more over a pandemic, which if you see, this is what the main reason they did it, was for some people to increase their profits and to gain control of things, to shut things down and have more things in their favor, and just to test some things, basically, like a drill. And they've done this plenty of times before too. Now, you probably heard the saying, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, which is true. It's not fair. It's not, and I'm not here to complain, I'm just here to make you be aware. It's not fair for someone to make minimum wage, such as $15,000 a year, $20,000 a year, even $30,000, $40,000, to someone who has $1 billion. It just doesn't make sense because there's so many poor people that are making these low, most people do make these low averages and have to work all the time. That's not to say they can't come up and make a bunch of money, but it's not fair to all the people that have $1 billion in this. Now I could get into things such as there should be a limit and all of this stuff, but as you see, it's not equal at all. There's just super rich people and basically broke people. There is some people in between, of course, but the few that are super rich have more money than all the poor people. So all the poor people can put all their money together, and someone who has $1 billion has, it's nowhere in comparison. So that doesn't make sense in itself. And you have these richer people just making more money and more money, yet they're not, it's fine on a sense, but what are they doing with that money? It's just like, you can only do so much with so much money. You can have 10 mansions, which there's nothing wrong with, but the whole point is you can't even be in all those mansions at all the time. You could have 100 cars just for yourself, but you can't even be in all those cars all the time, let alone even really drive them all the time. And when we come back to it, it's just a matter of control, because these rich people, even if the super rich people, that's why they both can do something, but it's more so always suppression. Because if the rich people, which we've heard about people who are not even as rich as these people who have billions of dollars, do something with their money, they're always suppressed about it all the time. And then when you have so much money, you suppress. This train's a little quieter, but there was just a train. The people that don't even have that much money, if they speak out against something, they always get suppressed. What are the things that we're talking about? Animal activists. What do they get suppressed by? Money. They always get suppressed by money. People who have more money than them. Because people can do very little if they don't have money. You just can't do anything. Because their social status, basically. And people, if someone has $1 billion, someone will be more intrigued to get paid to go kill somebody or hunt someone down. Whereas if you don't have any money, it's very unlikely someone's going to do that. They also will get away with it if you have more money. And the reason you don't hear about it is because it's all suppressed. This happens all the time. You only hear one-sided narrations. And as I was saying, there's few things that are going on, like such as we always get food, but you don't know where your food's coming from at all. You don't know where your food's coming from. If you've seen where your food was coming from, which they don't show you purposely, and they don't want you to know, so they deceive it and hide it from you. If you would see what they would do to your food, some of it, before you get it, you wouldn't allow that. You would do something about it. There's many factors. And there's also the big pharma, the people who create medicine. All of the stuff is linked. Even the media and entertainment. There's few people out there that are in it, but they're they're not like contributing to it. They're making something out of it. Because all these people can't do nothing about it. They're not allowed to, or two, they don't know about it. They aren't aware. And that's the whole point of living. A lot of stuff nowadays is making people aware and conscious of what's going on, because not too many people know. Our schools and education, which goes with the medicine, the big pharma, the agriculture / food, and even in the entertainment, technology, this all goes. They never taught you what food to actually eat in school. They just give you food. They never taught you how to actually live. They never taught you how to grow food. They never taught you so many things. They line you up. Thank God that train's over. I swear a train just came and it was just as loud, or way louder. They don't want you to know this stuff. Even the reason you go to school is because of super rich people, because they want to control you. School's not what you think it is. It's more so a prison camp or an indoctrination. That's exactly what it is. Most people don't like going to school. And it's not that they don't, there's multiple reasons for that. Because, and I could get into, but you're learning what someone else wants you to learn, whether it's history or whatever it is. You're not learning anything too useful that's value, because what's actually valuable is inside of you first. No one knows about the body, what food we should eat, and how people should live. They set you up for the jobs they want you to take and all this other things. It's not natural to sit in a spot all day, maybe a few times, depending on what you want to do. And I'll get into that, but it's not natural to sit behind a desk all day or to even stand in a one spot. Your body's not made for that. Of course, you can adapt to it and actually do it, but standing somewhere or sitting somewhere, your body's not meant to do that. And what even brings it more to a situation is we have competition, which that's always going to be there. And when you get competitive with someone, whether you want to be a cook or a painter, and it's not necessarily even being competitive, but to outdo someone or to stand out, you basically have to keep doing that thing and doing it and doing it and doing it. It all depends on what you're actually doing, but you just have to keep doing it to actually get better at it. If it's something that requires you to get better at it, because there is things you actually don't need to get better at, which I'm not going to get into that. And as you can see, when you have this unfair amounts of money, they make you do unnatural things that are unusual, which we can get into a bunch of things, but it just sets up your life for something that's not, we're meant to be outside for the most part, not inside all the time. We're meant to get sunshine. We're meant to, embrace the elements of the earth, which would be, the 5 elements. Not gonna name all of them, but and we're not meant to be cooped up inside. If you want to be, that's fine. But it's different when it's almost like an enforcement on people, or they have to. Now, we do all have a choice when it comes down to it, but a lot of people, it forces you, or you have to do it even maybe out of survival, to do certain things, which is just weird. And I don't want to say unnatural again, but it is in a sense. So again, we're going to draw it back to the unlimited energy. Why would we pay for energy when we can have unlimited energy already and not have to pay for it or necessarily work for it? If we wanted extravagant things, maybe such as a mansion or something that's real fancy, which is somewhat limited in a resource, maybe a certain vehicle, like a real expensive vehicle or something like that, then we could then maybe you could work for that or do something to achieve that. But it's not, but it's just not, most people aren't even going to want that necessarily. They make you think you want it, especially a lot of the aim at things is always at children, if you didn't know. So there's just this free energy that we work for, which doesn't make any sense at all if you think about it, because it's literally free. There's not any question about it. They're just making it not free. They're making it limited, or they're using a resource which is somewhat limited, which is harmful, such as coal. There's no reason to burn coal unless it was in a survival situation, and most people aren't in a survival situation. Coal actually messes, it's real bad to breathe in, like super bad, but yet they're burning it all the time. It's same with nuclear energy, which is what they use too, to burn energy. Why are they using unsustainable resources when we have free resources to use, or resources that don't burn like that? Because they want to control it, and they want to limit. That's all it is. So it would be up to the poor people to, it can go both ways, but the consciousness of the poor person has to become aware, or they have to become conscious, so they don't keep letting them do this, or to make a change. Because we could make changes too, but most people don't want to become aware, or they don't want to pay attention to, or just some don't care, and some just have no clue at all. So it's up to us to make that change.